this won't be the same place. And I think if you talk to staff, the ones that have been around here long enough, or even the ones that have just come on board, he lightens the floor up.
Well, I just hope that the public, excuse me, realizes, you know, the lifetime that CW has given to public service, you know, from here to Lakeview to Coos Bay to the sheriff's office, you know, he's a giver.
CW is one of those people that everybody knows, and everybody has known him for a long time, whether they have or not. He's just, you know, you got people, there are not very many people that fit this category, but everybody knows him.
I would say that I first met CW probably 25 years ago. And it was probably at a charity auction or something, you know. He used to do a lot of charity auctions. And so I can't remember, it seems to me he was in full cowboy outfit when I saw him, you know, with tall boots on the outside of his pants and a big sombrero and a neckerchief. And, yeah, he was quite a sight.
When John, Commissioner Rasher and I came in office here just almost 2 years ago now, and Dub was the remaining commissioner, the way that we worked the process. I was struck by his willingness to kind of step back a little bit and give John and I our heads a bit. That takes quite an individual to do that.
I spent the last 2 years with CW. I look at him as a mentor for me. He's really helped me out on a lot of things.
In his position as leadership as a senior commissioner, he was very worked at it. I think it was one of his natural traits, is he just, okay, boys, you're in, now let's, what are we going to do here? And allowed us some freedom to, as we expressed our individual thoughts and ideas and such, never stifled that. And I found that incredibly refreshing.
His office is right next door to mine, and whenever he comes in, I like to say, I always get here before him, but whenever he comes in, he stops at everybody along the way, and he has a happy smile for them and a happy word for them, and I'd like to pattern myself after that, because it's great that he does that. You know, he's always got time for you.
I don't know how many times my first year in office, he'd come into the office and he'd say, how you doing? Everything going okay for you? Anything we can do for you? And again, as a senior commissioner, that meant a lot. And it wasn't just perfunctory that, well, he should do that. I mean, that's who he is. He would come in, everything okay? And when we'd have some rather spirited debates in a public meeting, one of our work sessions or something, you know, he was always in. Again, we'd never discuss anything we couldn't discuss. He'd just come in to see how I was doing.
You know, I wish I had a CW story that I could repeat in public, you know. I've learned so many of them from him, you know. And he's one of those guys that can remember stories. You know, most of us, if somebody held a gun to our head and told us to tell a joke, we couldn't do it, you know. But he can remember it, and he comes back with them, and he's such a great storyteller, too.
Nobody tells a better joke than Dub. He can take the worst joke in the world and make it the funniest thing you've ever heard.
One thing that I respect from CW is a lot of people don't realize that he's a sculptor. And years ago, he did a sculpture in my different Burger Kings. One of them in Central Point was a cowboy theme, some of them are aviation theme. Well, I was looking for some cowboy gear to put in that restaurant, and he had just done a sculpture of Tom Mix, which I have here in my office, and it's one of my most prized possessions. Now, he didn't keep one for himself, so I had it on loan to him for the last year, but I made him be sure and drop it off in my office before he left.
That's what I'll miss more than anything else, is that he lightens the mood wherever he's at. I don't care, yesterday at the Chamber Forum, it doesn't make any difference where he's at. He's just one of those people that make you feel good.